Greetings, one and all. Welcome to episode 155 of Folks Talkin Sports. I'm, of course, KG Kris Gardner, and with me is Kennetra KP Pulliams. How are you doing?
Hey, Kris, I'm doing good, thanks.
And with us, Willy Gibson. How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Reverend Gibson.
No, sir.
Deacon Gibson. Deacon Gibson. Got on the vest, got the coat on, the seat behind him, so he had on everything working today. How was the preaching? Go well today, sir?
Church is great. Absolutely. Church is
Excellent,
great.
excellent. Okay, the thumbnail for today's show, part of it was we're going to discuss Texas at Ohio State.
Oh,
I almost said a faux pas there.
oh,
I was thinking of someone who you had not seen in a while, Brother Gibson.
okay.
Chimed in comments on Thursday's takeover,
Uh-huh.
and I let him know that we're going to discuss the Buckeyes Longhorns today. So I'm hoping to see his comments here soon. He's a fellow Buckeye.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about in the comments.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll join. So I'm going to give him some slack and see how long it takes him to join the discussion. But before that, we're going to discuss something we had talked about for a while. We're going to discuss this. The SEC implementing the 9-game schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make sure this is right. All right. So this is good news. I think y'all agree, but this is from the SEC website. So the SEC, the Southeastern Conference, announced it will implement a 9-game football schedule beginning in 2026. The decision, approved by the SEC's president and chancellors, following a recommendation by the league's athletics directors, was announced by Commissioner Greg Sankey. Under the new format, the SEC will continue with a single standings, non-divisional structure. Each school will play 3 annual opponents, focused on maintaining many traditional rivalries and more. The SEC will continue, and each school will play, I got all that. Each team's remaining 6 games will rotate among the remaining conference schools, and each team will face every other SEC program at least once every 2 years, and every opponent home and away in 4 years. So that's good. It's good news here. All this other kind of stuff. Bottom paragraph, I'm not going to read too much about, but the SEC teams are required to schedule at least one additional high-quality non-conference opponent from the Atlantic Coast, Big 10 or Big 12 conferences, or Notre Dame each season, and the SEC will continue to evaluate its policies to ensure the continued scheduling of high-quality non-conference opponents. They've been 8 conference games since '92. So who wants to go first? Talk about that.
Well, I mean, this upcoming game checks off that box, so like that takes care of that.
Good evening, Miss Wanda. How are you? Thank you for your support. She's usually the first one to comment. Willie, what was your initial reaction when you texted me the news?
About dang time.
Yeah, that was a text. So you want to go into more detailed specifics?
Yeah, I mean, no more Georgia Southern in November for Alabama. Um, I mean, funny thing happens when reduction of financial resources are involved. Funny things happen because the CFP determined that strength of schedule would now be a determining factor. They will be reviewing that, and it's like, hey, we can't play these 1AA teams anymore. We got to go to 9, and that's honestly, that's in all seriousness, that's one of the reasons Tony Batiti didn't want to do the 5+11 format because of the inequality in conference schedules. And so now with this, the SEC finally coming on board with a 9-game conference schedule, we'll see how those conversations for playoff expansion go. Corey, there he is.
And there he is. Been waiting on you, Corey. Been waiting on you.
Sure.
We went to this topic first before you. I was waiting for you to join the conversation, join the show. So you're here. We'll get to the big game momentarily. So Willie, KP, do you now think because the ACC is now the outlier, or will be the outlier in 26, sticking so far with an 8-game conference schedule, do you think they'll change? Because commissioner over there says it's too many. It's kind of a lot of hoops you got to jump through and blah blah blah, and we got so many teams that it may not be feasible.
If the price is right, they will.
I was gonna say, do we want to jump through hoops or we want to lose checks? Which one?
Well, I mean that's one thing. I haven't initially before this announcement a few days ago. ESPN had said, I mean that was a talk months ago, weeks/months ago, that ESPN was not going to boost or pay additional money to the SEC schools for the 9th game. Has that changed?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know.
So I don't believe that's changed, but logically it makes sense. Big Ten plays 9 conference games. The Big 12 plays 9 conference games. The SEC will next year. The ACC being backwater, whatever. I mean, sticking with 8, 17 games, 17 teams. Is it right? 17 in that league? 17 now?
See, and that's the thing is like when each conference doesn't have the same number of member institutions, then it's kind of hard because, you don't play everybody. And then how do you determine, playing a weaker, I mean, is a weaker opponent in your conference better than playing a middle of the road non-Power 4 team? Or an elite team from a non-Power 4 conference?
I would say so.
But part of the problem is this is of their own making. They wanted to expand to 15, 16, 17 teams for extra money, even though it's going to create more problems for travel, for the student assets, and you won't play everybody every 3, 4, sometimes maybe in the ACC case, it might be 6 years before you play everybody in the conference. I mean, that's ridiculous, but that's what they chose to do, adding Stanford, Cal, and SMU to make the Atlantic Coast Conference the Coast Conference. I mean, come on, Mr. Phillips. Commissioner, just pull up your big boy pants, add a 9th conference game, and maybe if you have a 9th conference game, maybe you won't lose to Hawaii non-conference.
Wow.
Oops, sorry about that. Oops.
Would you be in favor of going back to divisions within conferences?
I'd be in favor of going back to regional conferences. I'm going to go back way back when we were younger. Divisions, it would make sense if you're a 16-team conference, 17 divisions, but that ship has sailed. It's already passed. Just do what you got to do. Everybody play the same number of conference games. Three are not going to play 9. So the ACC, go ahead and add a 9th, and don't be the outlier.
How do you
figure it out?
Championship games.
I don't care. I think those are just money grabs. I mean, that's all. Those are money grabs in football and basketball. Conference championship games, tournaments.
Be penalized for losing the championship game.
No, I don't see a point in having them. But like I said, but I know they have them because of money. That's why they have them.
Notre Dame doesn't have one, so.
And they did fine. They made the most money last year, right? I think they had the biggest slice of the pie, going far, all that kind of stuff, and not having to share with any.
And split it.
Didn't have to split it, all that kind of stuff. Good for them. But the conferences, by expanding and adding all these teams, they created additional problems. So, Commissioner Phillips, you miss me with if we go to 9, it'll hurt what we have to do, and it'll cause. You started this, sir. I mean, you did this, adding who you added. So just join everybody else and add a 9th conference game. Okay, well,
yes, sir.
We're going to save Corey, make Corey wait. We're going to tease him a little bit longer. Oh, but Corey, you notice the shirt that KP's wearing? No, that's the shirt she's wearing. And she told us before the show that it wasn't intentional. It was just top of the drawer. So,
Yeah.
you know, okay. All right. But next topic, and I want to get Mr. Gibson's thoughts on this because he's been right on the mark throughout this whole training camp.
Mm-hmm.
This right here.
Yep.
Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur did not have put up great numbers in the last preseason game.
Yep.
Mr. Gibson, what say you? Shedeur after the game said, he was asked, I think, do you think he's going to make the roster?
Do I think he'll make the roster?
No, Shedeur was asked that. He was asked that, and he said, yes, of course.
Yeah.
So, Brother Gibson, share your insight and knowledge and opinion regarding the Cleveland Browns here on Folks Talkin Sports.
It was the third preseason game. He didn't play well, but didn't affect his roster spot in any way. I see a post. Who was it? Raul Havana,
right here.
Yeah. Those that, what is it? If you know, you know. With all due respect, he never was in contention for a starting spot at quarterback in Cleveland. For that matter, neither was Dillon Gabriel. So all of the conjecture and this many reps and that many reps and this many reps, and he did this with that, and he did this with that.
And Brother Gibson, let me pause you right there, because you said weeks ago,
yep,
that Joe Flacco was going to be the starter week 1.
Yeah,
there wasn't any question, no doubt in your mind. Yep. It wasn't going to be Shedeur, it wasn't going to be Dillon Gabriel, none of that.
Yep.
And so when the Browns announced that Joe Flacco was going to be the starter week 1, we were like, yeah, Willie said that. We already knew that.
Yeah.
Other folks are like, see, they're hating on Shedeur. They're doing all the,
No.
Y'all need to watch Folks Talkin Sports and Willie Gibson.
Yeah. No. And if you saw the game yesterday, Joe Flacco started. He was 9 of 10 for 71 yards and a touchdown, and he sat down. Like, okay, I'll see you September 7th. Yep. That's all we needed to see. They knew, and they know. So, then it was, but Dillon Gabriel, the play. I've seen this today. What Kevin Stefanski called plays for Dillon Gabriel that were easier plays, and he put Shedeur in and called harder plays. Like, it's the playbook. It's all about the execution of the play. I will say this, and most people may not like to hear this. They may not want to hear it, but Dillon Gabriel is check down Charlie, and he's supposed to be. If the play isn't there, you check down. Shedeur wasn't doing that yesterday. Mm-hmm. Shedeur reverted back to some old habits that they've been trying to pull out of him since he was drafted in April. There was a sack that he took. Instead of stepping up in the pocket, he did a 360 and took a 24-yard sack. That's not a hard play that Kevin Stefanski called. It was, if he executed the play, stepped up in the pocket, the play was there. But, it's going to take time. I mean, in his defense, Shedeur played behind a porous offensive line at Colorado. So quarterbacks just don't forget that. And right. When pressure comes, sometimes you revert back to your your bad habits. Mm-hmm. And then that's what happened yesterday. It wasn't Stefanski changed the playbook and and then it was this. Well, in the last 2 minutes, they didn't let Shedeur go back in for the game-winning drive. They put in Snoop Huntley. See, they're hating on Shedeur. No, it's business. Snoop Huntley was signed mid-camp. Snoop Huntley was never going to make this team. So they allowed him to put some good film on, get some good play on tape.
Okay.
Knowing that they would release him. And now he has tape that other teams can now see that, yes, he can still play as a serviceable quarterback in this league. That was not a shot at Shedeur. That was not they're hating on Shedeur. That was not they're stacking the deck against Shedeur. That was business. The NFL is a business.
Right.
And they allowed Snoop Huntley to put some good play on tape, knowing that he wasn't going to be a part of their future plans, that now he can take that and move on to his next destination.
Raiders need a backup quarterback.
Exactly. The Saints need a backup quarterback. A lot of people need quarterbacks. So that was nothing to do with Shedeur. That it just wasn't. So Shedeur, I mean, Joe Flacco was the starter. Kenny Pickett for now will be number 2 week 1, and the rookies will wait their turn.
So the Browns will have 4 quarterbacks, and Shedeur will be one of those 4.
Yes. That's not new, Justin. He said it Thursday or Friday, but that's been those thoughts have been shared as recently. I mean, as far back as the draft in April. You know, it was a scenario. I mean, he said the quiet part out loud, so to speak. You know, many people feel that way. So yeah.
But we've kind of touched on that in previous FTS shows as well. Shedeur's, he fell in the draft away in a sense because of who his dad is.
His father, absolutely.
Okay, so that's part of this as well.
So I would say this: if there's a quarterback, if you do a blind resume and you have a quarterback that completes 74% of his passes, throws for over 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions in the Big 12, that's not a 5th-round quarterback. That's not pick 144.
Right.
I'll just leave that there.
Just leave that there. Yeah.
Next question.
So I mean, that is part of this, but also the QB situation that is in Cleveland, he was not going to start week 1.
Never.
So anyone who thought that, that's a you problem. Okay, that wasn't reality. That's a you problem. And that's why you need to watch colleagues like Willy Gibson, who follow the Browns, cover the Browns, and give you the insight of what's going on, rather than people outside the Browns who have no idea what they're talking about and just spew out stuff for clickbait.
Yep.
You followed Willy, me, Kennetra, this show. We don't do that. Okay, we give you informed opinions. We don't just toss out stuff, toss it against the wall to see if it sticks. There are folks who do that. Y'all know who some of those folks are in your cities, on national TV, national radio. That's not me. That's not Brother Gibson. That's not KP. But all right.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the teams that needed a starting quarterback drafted quarterbacks higher.
Yep.
Cleveland didn't need one. And I mean, let's keep it in perspective. Shedeur has been an NFL quarterback, a professional, for 4 months.
Yep.
Learning curve is steep. Give him time.
That's it.
True. And let me go back. Where is it? Shiloh lost his mind and lost a job.
Yeah. I'll say this. I'll say this. I don't believe he was cut because of that play. Shiloh was an undrafted free agent, so Shiloh would have to move.
Yeah, he was on a bubble anyway.
Yeah. I mean, he was at best the 5th safety that in the league that keeps 4 safeties per squad. So, yeah. I mean, now did that help? Probably not, but that's not the sole reason he was released, and that's not to say he won't be a part of their practice squad or another practice squad somewhere else. But he wasn't released because of that play last night.
Agreed. What are your thoughts on Jamon? Jamon is he's going to continue riding his horse. Will it just doesn't make sense for the Browns to start Flacco or Pickett. They should be going with either Gabriel or Sanders to see if they have to draft another QB next year. Browns don't make sense.
There's 17 weeks in the season. They can't go out there week 1. First of all, neither one of those guys are ready. So that's not going to happen. and you have a Super Bowl winning quarterback on your roster, Super Bowl MVP on your roster. You have to play him now. Week 7, week 8, yeah, you can do that, and you still have more than half of the season to evaluate those rookies to see if you need to go back in the quarterback pool in 26, but not week 1. They're not ready.
And a segue, cut down days Tuesday for
it's so much started today.
Well, some of it, yeah. Final cuts.
Finals. Yes,
rosters got to be turned in
Tuesday. Yep.
by 4 Eastern, 3 Central. AD Moore is going to have a live stream show on the corner on Tuesday evening discussing the Texans' moves and final roster. So tune in for what AD's thoughts about the Texans roster. Part of the Houston Roundball Review Media Group. And Jamon, I think Will agrees. He's not expecting Flacco to last long. He's just going to start week 1. So yeah.
They don't expect him to last long.
Yeah.
They don't want him to last long, honestly.
So 2 or 3 weeks, and then they'll go from there. Yeah. It's a business and it's a process.
They want to get through London. London is week 5. Well, week 6. London is week 5. Vikings in London. Week 6 is at the Steelers. After that, you can start the clock.
Fair enough. Thank you, sir. All right, Corey. Well, Corey did have this comment here earlier. Saints need a starting QB.
Yeah.
Not just a backup QB, a starting QB. Mm-hmm. And that's part of it. And this is true as well. Flacco might get hurt, week 1, week 2, week 3. It's the NFL. Any quarterback can get hurt. So yeah.
Any player can get hurt.
Any player get hurt.
Yeah, absolutely.
C.J. Stroud get hurt week 1. First play.
And you don't have to wait for a game for it.
No, don't say that.
So, but he could. Yeah. Buckeyes get hurt too. They get injured. So it happens. But segue into it. Okay. Oh, I want to give KP, I'm not sure you saw this, from Queen Polk. Go KP and UT.
Appreciate it.
Queen Polk, I thought I knew you. I thought I could count on you and your support here to not root for anything Texas, but I guess I was wrong. Okay. That's all right. Okay.
Would it's not specific to Shedeur, whatever, but it's nice to see, on my daily walks, Cam Ward getting the hometown love with the yard signs, all the tighten up signs, go Cam Ward, Brazoria County zone. So it's nice to see that.
That is nice. All right, Corey, this is for you, Corey. Here we go. This Saturday, high noon Eastern, right?
Yes, sir.
High noon Eastern on Fox, Big Fox, 11 o'clock Central. Buckeyes 1.5 point favorite. Have at it. Who wants to go first? The person wearing the University of Texas shirt just by happenstance? You want to share your thoughts first, or what? Or Deacon Gibson?
I like starting the season with meaningful games, as opposed to just, a non-conference game, middle of the road, a bye game, if you will. Mm-hmm. So this is how you start.
What say you, Mr. Gibson?
Yeah, it's been interesting on Saturday in the shoe. You have the preseason number 1 team in the country coming in to Ohio Stadium, and Buckeyes have to be ready.
Well, it should be first things first.
I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying.
First, no, you don't have to be objective here. If you want to say something smart, say something smart. I'm petty tendergrass, so it's all good.
Yeah, for real.
So is there I haven't read is there ring ceremony? Is there pageantry, national champs, banner?
Oh no, that's over. That's over. We're on to this year. That was over 3 weeks after the game. No, they hung the banner in the Woody Hayes, and that's it. On to the next one.
I hope it's competitive. That's what I want. It's competitive, not a blowout. You know, I hope it lives up to the hype, to high-powered, respectable programs, all those great things. I'll rely on Will for updates because I'm not going to watch much of it, if anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to comment on this back to Queen Polk. My mom and dad went to Texas. Okay, half my family went to Texas, so graduated, all those things. My best friend went to Texas. A lot of my friends went to Texas. Doesn't mean I'm going to like them for in all those things, but I respect the Longhorns. I respect what they've accomplished. Now, there are some Longhorns who are pains in the butt and think their stuff don't stink. And for those folks, I got stuff for them to say. But for the most part, it's all good. It's all love here. I have much appreciation for KP. She knows that. I just like giving her a difficult time out wearing that shirt. It's okay. But do you agree with this? From Corey, Will, KP? Is there a scenario? Well, I mean, the scenario, and Corey knows this as well, turnovers.
Yep.
If either team turns over 4 or 5 times, game's going to be a rout. Okay, that's unexpected. You do not go into a game thinking we're going to lose the ball 4 times. We're going to have 3 pick sixes, and you don't plan for that.
Right.
So that could be the scenario, and I hope that doesn't happen. But quarterback, Will, your thoughts on the quarterback for the Buckeyes?
Yeah, Julian Sayin, redshirt freshman, making his first career start. That's going to be interesting in and of itself. He's by far the best passer of the current quarterbacks at Ohio State. It's going to be interesting to see how he responds because, as I said, this is his first start. He does have, by all accounts, the premier player in college football catching in Jeremiah Smith, but don't sleep on the guy on the other side, Carnell Tate, number 17. I think Texas, they did a pretty good job on bottling up Jeremiah in the Cotton Bowl in the college football semis. But Carnell Tate, if they do that again on Saturday, look for Carnell Tate and even Brandon Ennis to have big games as well.
KP, any Longhorns to watch in the matchup, in your opinion?
I don't know. There's a quarterback, that is kind of flying under the radar that nobody's talking about.
Mm.
And who might that be, Kennetra?
Arch Manning. So I mean, he comes from lineage. He has some starting experience. He's waited his turn, and now he has been given the keys to the Ford F-150. So we'll see how he does.
And regarding both teams, the Longhorns have more returning starters. Is that right? Because the Buckeyes have more guys drafted.
That I know Ohio State is replacing 8 guys on defense. I'm not sure what Texas's ratio is, but it's going to be. I mean, I don't know. I think they're replacing clearly the quarterback. I think there are 3 offensive linemen for Texas that are being replaced. I believe both receivers are now in the NFL. Isaiah Bond being in Cleveland and Matthew Golden being in Green Bay. But both teams they lost a lot. So it'll be interesting to see, who reloaded the best on Saturday.
Yeah, both teams reloading. Both teams stock full of supreme college talent and as well as NFL potential talent. Is the loser of the game out of the playoff?
No. I don't think so.
Agreed. And see, that's the beauty of scheduling and facing another high quality opponent in your non-conference.
Yeah, Texas will still be okay.
Yeah.
Week
Yeah.
2 and beyond.
I mean, it's week one. Like it's better to lose in August, September, than it is in October.
Well, I would even say this. Now with the 12-team playoff, I mean, Ohio State lost the last regular season game of the season and won the national championship last season. So now I don't recommend that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that should be expected or it's okay, it doesn't matter. But the playoff, and that's kind of the complaint here, is the luster and the pageantry of the rivalry game is now gone because it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because Ohio State did still win the national championship after not winning that game last year. So,
Willie, would you rather play a marquee non-conference game week one,
Mhm.
or would you rather play a conference game, kind of like what happened in the Big 12 yesterday?
the non-conference, the marquee non-conference game for sure.
Yeah, agreed. And the part about rivalry games, those still matter because it's your rival.
Mhm.
You don't want to lose to your rival.
Mhm.
That luster is never going to go away. If they are a bitter rival, you want to beat them.
But a
Period.
nice consolation prize is a natty.
Sure. It
Now,
doesn't
don't get
mean
me
your
wrong.
season is going to be over.
Right.
Yeah. Now that being said, I mean, by all means, there are people that I know around the corner, literally, that would much rather win the last game of the season, and in some instances give back the natty. Now, I'm not one of them. Now, all things being equal, you would love both.
Sure.
Don't get me twisted. I'm not saying that, but yeah, there are people that would very, very much rather win that final regular season game.
And that's a bitter rival.
Yep.
And CA37, I'll post your question in a moment. For me, if the Commanders lost both times to the Cowgirls in the regular season, but still won the Super Bowl, give me the Super Bowl. Give me the trophy. Okay? The Cowgirls fans will, we beat y'all twice though. And we would come back, yep, and we got this. Okay, we have the Lombardi trophy. So you go ahead and do what you want to do and hang your hat on those things when we have our fourth Super Bowl trophy. That's what part of being a rival is.
Mhm.
That championship. Winners love that championship.
Yep.
The rival, the folks who win that but don't win the chip, that's what they hold on to because they have nothing else. Okay. The people up north, yeah, we beat y'all. Buckeyes, that's nice. We have the championship trophy. You see what we got right here, right? You see this, right? So,
Pretty much.
okay. Were we satisfied with the playoff structure last year or going forward? What are you asking there, CA37?
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer going forward the 5+11. I prefer that. You earn your spot on the field. That's what I want to see. I don't want you to be handed 4, 5, 6 spots in your conference.
Wow.
The seeding could have been better.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
What's interesting about the seeding is all 4 teams that got a bye lost.
See? Yeah. You just never know. But winning your conference matters to me. That should count for something. I don't want to see, I think Will touched on it, was it last week in the proposed Big Ten getting 6, 7 spots. Who was it? What did he say? Somebody was 8-5 when it made the playoff last year.
Yep.
I don't want to see anybody 8-5 making the playoff.
Yep.
That's just no. That's similar to in college basketball, somebody winning twice in conference play, getting to having 2 quadrant 1 wins, getting to the tournament. No, don't want to see something. No, and I'm not in favor of in college basketball somebody finishing 6-12 in conference play. Well, our conference was so tough, so tough. We won only 6 games in conference. We went 6-12. We still deserve a berth in the tournament. No, but I'll die on that hill by myself if necessary, and that's quite all right. Anything you want to talk about in the NBA? Still no Kevin Durant press conference, by the way.
I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith got married
Oh, did he?
in Dallas.
Dorian Finney-Smith got married? Okay.
That's all I got.
See, just I don't know the reasons behind why there hasn't been a press conference. I mean, if he waits till media day, folks talk to him, ask him his questions. We'll ask questions about him then. Whatever. It's strange that there has not been a press conference for him. I mean, maybe it's not unprecedented. It's just strange. I'll just leave it at that. But Corey, thank you very much for your questions and participating in the discussion. As I'll say this, I'm not sure if the takeover this Thursday will be live. If I have started my new job by then, it won't be live. It'll be recorded. But the takeover will still air at noon. Don't worry about that. This might not be live.
I have a question. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
U of H classes start tomorrow.
Yes.
Why is the basketball schedule still not released?
A lot.
Same up here.
How can I say this year seems out of it seems extraordinary because it seems like more and more teams have not announced their schedules, their non-conference schedules, more than usual. I don't know why that is. I spoke to some folks earlier today, this afternoon. Still nothing definitive on when the Cougs are going to announce their non-conference schedule. But I mean, on a smaller scale, Prairie View waiting on some of their contracts to be returned. I mean, different teams. It's UConn, same thing. They have announced their non-conference schedule. I don't know if I'm having
women?
UConn women. Recency bias. It's just schools here and there have not announced a non-conference schedule. I don't know. I mean, I know here and there some of the MTEs are being announced. So maybe that's part of it. Teams are waiting for details regarding their MTEs to be finalized before they announce their non-conference schedule, because that is a growing thing. You got to have the multi-team events and those details hammered out with the money and the sponsors and who's going to be playing in it, and the NCAA has to approve it and all that. Maybe that's part of it as well. Who knows? But it does seem to have taken longer than usual. Last year, the Cougs, women's team, have not announced their non-conference schedule. So it's not just UH men. UH women haven't either. All I know about on the women's side is UH will host Rice on a Sunday in December. That's because Rice has announced their non-conference schedule. I know that. So it's just a quirk. Hopefully it's a quirk. But they're getting closer. I mean, September is almost here. Last year, Big 12 announced the TV matchups and stuff in September, like late September. I did not believe that September is approaching and we still would not know the Cougs non-conference schedule officially. Because I know who it is. I've already put it out there. Folks who are YouTube members, they already know. And I will have some details to share with them after this show. So, little teaser there. So if you want to become a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member and find out what I'm going to share, you need to do so. Click on that join button and take care of that. That'll do it. Brother Gibson, what do you
I
got to
could
say?
break something. I could break some of UConn's non-conference schedule if you want.
They have some of it. Yeah.
I have some of it.
Yeah.
All right. Like for example, Sunday, November 18th, Ohio State women at UConn
Mm-hmm.
in Hartford.
Hartford.
Yeah.
Nothing new. Nothing new on the Houston and the WNBA. It's still a mystery as to why the WNBA prefers Houston and a lower bid than the bids up in the Northeast. I don't understand that, but have not gotten anything new regarding that I can share. I'll put that there. Sengun playing well in the Euro League, double for Turkey. Alpi's a hell of a player. Is working on his 3-point shot, so that's good. That's a positive. Any player worth his or her salt will work on their game and add something to their game every offseason. And that's what Shingun's doing. So looking forward to that. I submitted my request for a Rocket season credential on Thursday. Will, have you got that from the Cavs yet, the season credentials?
I haven't yet. I've been focused. No. I've been looking at the Browns and Ohio State. I haven't done anything with Cavs yet.
But no worries. I mean, that it's almost here.
Yep.
So that's the beauty of that. And let's wrap it up. All right, Brother Gibson, I think I did it right this time.
Okay.
So let me...
Hold on. My throat is a little dry. Let me...
Oh. The Ohio State.
That's it.
Here you go, sir.
All right. I appreciate it as always. Thank you for the opportunity. Social media, as the crawler will be saying here, IGN Threads is Will Knows Sports. Twitter is Will Gibson 7, and Facebook is Will Knows. Thank you.
I'm going to put y'all on the spot again. We got 2 more weeks before the start of the NFL on Sundays. Are y'all good for next Sunday? Labor Day Sunday?
TBD.
Okay.
TBD. Yeah.
Fair enough. KP, anything changed regarding you on social media? No?
Nope.
All right. So I'll do this as soon as I can find it. Where is it here? All right. So for myself, let me see how I want to do this. I'll just do it like this. I mean, y'all need to see my shiny bald head any bigger than it already is. Well, yeah, I want to do this. Business, Will. Business. There we go. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, you can scan that QR code or click on the join button on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel and become a Houston Roundball Review YouTube member. 2 tiers of membership. All League is $2.99 a month. All World, $4.99 per month. Early access to new videos in the All League tier, photos, status updates, All World, everything in the All League, plus members only YouTube shorts, members only videos, and probably next Sunday will be my first members only live stream. Well, I will announce the first perks to the members, the All World members for the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. So that'll do that. Scan that QR code, click on the join button, support the Roundball Review. A new way to support the Roundball Review. So that will wrap it up. For my colleagues, Kennetra, KP, Pulliams, Willy Gibson, thank you once again for everyone, to Justin, to Bobby, Corey. Bobby, we appreciate this. And reminder, this Tuesday on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, tune in to the AdMax Corner when A.D. Moore will discuss the Texans' 53-man roster. So tune in for that. And wrapping it up, y'all know how I do it. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.